Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. We're back on Satisfactory once again, going to be continuing a single player playthrough. But first, it is Monday, so hopefully y'all had yourselves a great weekend this weekend. As always, I'd like to thank and to welcome all of the newest subscribers that we gained over the last week and over the weekend. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much, because we almost broke another record, so it was close. It was very, very close. We definitely gained a lot, so... And the channel is continuing to soar, so, have, a lot of thanks to give for that. And also thank you to the people that have stuck with me thus far. You guys are also awesome. Hopefully you continue to enjoy the content. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on into this. So, if you weren't here last time, we had finished the copper sheet factory, which we will go to in just a moment. We finished the copper sheet factory, and we had also... started on the quick quartz. There we go. They start with a Q. I was gonna get there eventually. We got started on the quartz crystal factory, which was very challenging to get it started. So that was pretty interesting. But we did manage to get it done. So that was pretty nice. And pretty soon, all of these little tiny temporary factories are going to disappear. Which will be very, very nice. Can't wait for that. Because that is a personal goal, essentially, is to get rid of all these temporary factories, which we almost have. We're about halfway through them, I would say. Because we still got some, we still got some very... complicated factories that we haven't even started on yet, permanent ones, because we still got to do like circuit board factory, computer factory, modular. We don't even have modular frames or motors or stators or anything like that. So, but once we get this quartz crystal factory, that'll also open the door for a lot of new factories as well. We're probably going to get started this week on obviously this quartz factory is going to be a big one. It's not going to be too crazy, but it's definitely going to be an interesting looking factory. I still have the ideas for it, so I haven't lost them over the weekend, luckily. I've had that happen. I've had it week to week, and I've completely forgotten what I was trying to do. But yeah, this is our quartz crystal factory that we're going to get started on this week, which is pretty nice. So far, we've got the 2 train stations for output, and then up here, because we couldn't fit it, we've got the input, which is going to be the quartz crystal, if we actually need it. So, what is today's plan? Well, today's plan is to gather all the quartz onto miners, grab all of the quartz onto these belts, and get the quartz running into this factory. And then from this factory, I'm actually going to build a walking path right here. Right here, and here, or just here, something like that. A walking path to go over, and we're going to connect ourselves up to this factory over here. Now, since the outputs are that far over, well, they're probably going to be going upstairs, right? They're probably going to be having quartz. Wait, no, these are the, never mind, these are exports. Never mind, we don't have to worry about that. The imports do need to come over here, though, connect up with this grid, and then the factory is going to be above this. What I'm thinking is I might cut this off, this bottom section here. We'll have it as a support piece, but we'll cut it off, and what we'll do is we'll kind of slope it out on the bottom side, slope it out to just past here, and then go straight up, and then that'll be the factory, basically. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure on the walls. The walls are going to be somewhat plain. We're going to have some pillars and stuff, I think, but for the most part, the walls are going to be pretty plain. Yeah, so I'm going to stop this, taking a week to build a single factory type of deal. It is nice to be able to build nice big factories like that, make them look nice and stuff like that. It's just, man, it's taking forever. We'll eventually stop doing that. Eventually, one of these days. Who knows when, though. Alrighty. I guess we can go ahead and get started here. So that's basically our plan for this week, is to get this factory done, and if we have time left over, then we can start working on one of the other lower level factories, which probably rods is another good one to go for. We do not have a rod factory yet, a permanent one. We do not have a permanent rod factory. We do not have a... Well, the rods aren't going to be too much, because we're not using them for screws. We're using these steel screw recipes, so... which we have a permanent factory for that already. So if we can get rods in place, that'll be... I think that'll be all the raw resource factories out there, right? Other than, of course, we've already got plastic and rubber. We got a big old factory for that over in the... That was one of the very first factories we had actually built that was permanent, one of the big ones. Yeah, that was the very first factory we worked on, so... Yeah, rod factory probably won't take very long. We probably won't spend a whole lot of time on it. It'll probably be a small one. Kind of like the reinforced plates factory. That one was pretty small because we're using an alternate for that as well. We actually didn't need that many machines. What was it, like 8 or 10, something like that? So it was a pretty small factory. But yeah, a lot to do. But we need to get some of these lower level factories, the ones that take raw resources and turn them into stuff. We need to get those factories done so then we can move on to the more advanced stuff, you know. Like stators and motors and rotors and stuff. Yeah, those 3 factories definitely next, and then we need to start working on the frame factories as well. The frame factories are going to be pretty interesting, and as these factories get bigger, we're going to have to find bigger places for them. What could be cool is doing the doing those stators, rotors, and motors down in the swamp biome. That'd be pretty cool. Something like that. I don't know. Let's get to going on this though. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this. We don't need power here anymore, do we? No, because we're connected to the train line. So if I take that and I remove this and remove this, should be good there. So yeah, as I was saying, we're going to use this as a support system, but that's about it. Do we have... I think I have a blueprint that might work. Probably going to be... It's going to be one of the big pillars. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So some of these blueprints are from other games. I've just kind of imported them. Yeah, there's a very... Delete this? Okay. Done. It said delete. That's funny. There's got to be a big pillar that would work for this. It's not in any of those. I know I had one. Maybe it's in bridges. I didn't think I put it in here, but I might have. The one I'm thinking of, anyway. No, these are those mega bridge supports. That train line we never finished. We'll get back to it one of the days. Maybe I'll do it off camera. I'll just go ahead and finish it. Some pillar 3 high. No. Should have been like a mega pillar or a big pillar or something like that. It's not any of these pillar arches. Yeah, I can't find it for some reason. Pillar B? That's close. That's not the one I want, though. Although that would also work. Yeah, I cannot find this for the life of me. It's like maybe I put it in here somewhere. It's not that one, although that would also work. It's not that one. That's the size, but that's not the exact what I'm thinking of. That's definitely not that. I know where they're at, and I could go grab one to figure out what it's called, but dang it, it's all the way over at our... let's see, the closest place I used it is over at the wire and cable factory. Yes, this wire and cable factory. They're big old towers. Oh, man. Yes, this is the blueprint I'm looking at. It doesn't have a name anymore. So this blueprint's been removed from the system. But it's still a blueprint. Wire cable support tube. Yeah, but there's... No, I had one that was slightly smaller. It's probably gone by now. Or it's called something else. Let's go ahead and clear this. Clear blueprint designer, wire and cable, tire base, support. Yeah, give me the support here. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of these beams. I could just do that. There we go. Just put a filter on it so I don't have to sit here and tap the control. Yes, we don't need these supports. Okay. I think that's all of them. If we're going to look at it, yeah, it's just concrete. Okay. So then we're going to change this to factory mega pillar A, because we might have more than one. Select icon. We're just going to go other. Would be nice if I could have the what do they call it? The mono something. The little white images. That'd be pretty nice. We'll just... I don't want to select something that's going to be confusing. Guess we'll just select a foundation. 4 meter. Select that. That's pretty big. And blueprint saved. Okay, cool. So yeah, then we can have that for our factory. Over there. Alright, now I just got to make my way back over to the other factory so I can get that pillar in place. You guys want to know a little pro tip? If you have your jetpack on and you have a decent fuel like regular fuel or the higher tiered ones, get up on a train, wait for it to get up to speed. I'll show you. Just kind of stand back here towards the back side of the engine. It doesn't matter if you're on the train cars or the engine car. It doesn't matter. Just wait for it to get up to a decent speed. And once it's at a decent speed that you like roughly here, and what we're going to do is we're going to run and then slide, and then press space. It wasn't high enough to clear that cliff, but that's okay. Woo! You can get over here pretty quickly. Sadly, there's no trains coming up this way, so I'll just have to take the rest of the way. But yeah, if you use that, it basically just takes that momentum and then multiplies it when you slide and jump. Because when you slide, the game thinks that you're just going fast, so it's just like, okay, yeah, as if you're just running around. It doesn't know that you're going that fast. Now, if you're using like something like rocket fuel and you do that, you'll fly across the freaking map. It'll be insane. Although, yeah, I suppose that's kind of obsolete. But until you get to that point, using the jetpack on trains is pretty good. Okay. back to this little project, this little pet project that we got going on. Now watch I find it. Be like, oh, it was right there the whole time. It should be at the top. You save a new one, it goes to the top. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty big pillar. As long as we're in the middle. We are not. This is the middle of the factory here, so it's... I might not be able to place it down. Yeah, that's quite the jump. There we go. Yeah, we couldn't center it because of that. That's okay. Put it like right there. Big old massive support pillar. Which is probably even, it's still even too low. I'll have to modify it. Yeah, let me get a base for this factory here so I can get started on that. Okay, I'm starting to form a little bit of a shape here. Getting some of this done is, it's actually looking pretty good. So down here we're doing a little bit of a slope here. Just to make that work there. Starting to form, like I said, starting to form a little bit of a shape here for our build. I'm actually going to pull this all the way out. We're going to zoop this all the way along to here, but this is not going to go all the way up. This is only going to go up as high as it needs to in order to make this work. Yeah, we'll just do that. Okay. So there that goes. Of course, we're going to use a snowball to kind of clean up some of the stuff around the place here. Make it a little bit cleaner along that edge. Okay. Now for this particular section, let's go ahead and do this. Now we're going to have a flat top. It's going to be a flat top factory, by the way. That'll make it easy for the roofing. Or for the roofing, sorry. So one little trick, if you have not seen this trick, I've done it quite a few times before, but not everybody's seen it. So we're going to go ahead and show it. And I think I'm going to do it all the way to here, actually. So let's say I want to put a foundation from this corner to this corner right here. Let's put that back, actually, just for the moment. But yeah, I want to go from that corner to that corner. There's a few different ways we can do that, of course, with the new nudging system that came not too long ago. Well, I say not too long ago, it's been a long time. But yeah, you could put a foundation in here. This is one of the simplest and quickest ways to do it. Yeah, we can nudge it 4 forward and then 2 over. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hold control, nudge it back 1, and then there we go. And that is certainly one way we could do that. We can also do a little bit more advanced hold control, and we're going to go ahead and get our angle. Let's say it's roughly there, because I'm not really 100% sure, and I really am not. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I didn't explain that. So if you're looking at a foundation and you hold control right here, what you want to do is you want to hold control and you want it to where it snaps off, so that means you're right on the corner. Then you hit the H key to lock it in, then you can let go of control. And you can see it's locked in place here. Now we can hold control again and we can rotate. Sorry, let me try that again. Yeah, don't click it down. That was my mistake. So right there, the H key. Alright, we're hitting the H key when we lock it in, sorry. There we go. Yeah, we can go ahead and rotate it. And we'll rotate it roughly there. Then we hit the H key, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that in place, and then the next one can do that. And that's certainly, you can see how good the corner is. The corner is pretty damn nice. It's perfect. It's like perfectly cornered. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to where that was, so that might take a few tries to try and get the angle right, unless you know the exact angles. You can keep that in your head, but there is one other way that's exactly that same way, but it's much easier and much faster. You can delete where you want the edging to stop, so basically where you want the angle to stop, which we want it to stop right here. We could also stop it at that foundation if we like, it doesn't really matter. But we want it to stop right here because we're going to have a flat wall for the train to come in on. What you can do is you can go ahead and go to architecture, take yourself a painted beam, stick it right there in the middle, and depending on the foundation's thickness, whether it be a 4 meter, 2 meter, or 1 meter, it needs to be exactly in the middle. Exactly in the middle right here. So we take this, so we go, make sure you're on freeform mode by hitting the R key. So we're on freeform mode, and we're going to take this all the way perfectly straight. Because we're in freeform mode, it can go up or down. But yeah, perfectly straight, and we're going to take it all the way to that corner until it touches, till the edge touches that corner, so it looks like this. And you can see this corner looks like this. And you take your foundation's thickness that you were just using the beam on, and needs to be the same thickness as what you just pasted on there. And you can hit the H key when it snaps to the edge of the beam. Hit the H key to lock it in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it's in that. You can change this to zoop mode. Click it, and then drag it over. Sometimes it drags it over, sometimes it doesn't. Whatever, doesn't matter. But then we're going to go ahead and place the next one. Usually these angles are so short you could just use default mode, it's fine. But don't delete the beam yet. And you can see when we drag this over, now this doesn't really matter because it's inside the floor, you know. Looks pretty nice, right? But if you really want to, what you can do is you can take that end foundation, snap it to this end, hit the H key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and do that. So that if your factory then continued around to go this way at this point, then it makes a perfect straight angle. As you can see, it's literally perfect. That is the nice method about the beams. So yeah, I kind of like that. I like that slope. That looks pretty nice. And of course we can go underneath, zoop, drag it over, so it's on the ground. Perfect corner. And you can place walls on this. And the walls, I think the walls are also pretty good too. Like the walls aren't perfect, but yeah, there is a little bit of a gap because they do sit outside of the foundation. But you can absolutely do that. But with this particular thing, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a wall and going 1, 2, 3, 4. Drag that over, and I want this one to match up with this. 3, 4. So it's like that. Then we're going to hit this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to go over. I don't think there's any way I can make that work. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where that one is. We could probably cover it up with a beam. It'll probably be fine. What we can also do is probably this like that, and then take this wall to. Yeah, I'd rather have the little bit of a gap where the wall touches it rather than overlapping, because I can always cover that up with a beam. But I'm going to cover this up with a wall here, and we're going to drag this all the way over just like that, because I'm going to be putting stuff on this wall, so that's why I'm using a little bit of depth here. I'm using about half a foundation's worth of depth. Same with this side. This side, I was going to use foundations, but I might change that up. I was going to use the half foundations to kind of cover this, but I'm thinking I might use a wall instead. Because a wall is pretty damn thin. So that might be nice. But yeah, like I said, no windows on this bottom floor here. We're not going to have any windows on this bottom floor. It's all going to be. We're going to be using beams, essentially. I'm going to be, or not beams, well, beams to start out with, but I'm going to be using pillars to kind of pull the depth, and we're going to be pulling some, like, angles and stuff like that. So we're going to go from, like, maybe the top of this wall here, and we'll go down to, like, here or something like that, and then we'll go over a couple foundations and then do the same thing, try that exact same angle. It'll take a little while to get the exact look I'm going for, but that's going to be that. And then inside of that, we're going to have some signs and stuff, or some so I say signs, it's going to be the billboards, the large ones. And that's going to basically make our wall. And then on top here, we are going to have... See, the factory is going to partially cover this, but I think a good chunk of it, this is going to be the level for the train stations. We're going to have windows up top here. So it's going to be kind of like a... I don't know what you'd call it, a casino, maybe? I don't know if casinos don't traditionally have windows on the roof, because they're usually like at the bottom of a hotel or something. Even big casinos usually have multiple floors, and you're not going to have any like ceiling lights, or ceiling roof things, ceiling roof windows, whatever. But yeah, you traditionally wouldn't have that. But yeah, we're going to have some strip windows up here, maybe like 2 wide over the top of each one of these and stuff like that. Now, this factory is going to be a little bit interesting. So the way this is working, the reason that we have all this foundation like this is because this cliffside here does like protrude into where the train is. So I've covered it up with foundations using thick foundations because I'm not going to use this space anyway. So yeah, and then what I'm also going to do is we're going to use 2-meter foundations to cover this. This way there's a little bit of a gap between the roof and the train station, as well as when we go to put our windows in, the windows will have a little bit of a border, but they're not going to be 4 foundation thick border. Plus, yeah, like I said, the foundations are not going to touch the train station. So part of the factory is going to be here at this level. Yeah, I don't know why I put that there. Give me a moment to fix that. Okay. Cool. Yeah, like I said, this was actually... Should I? I mean, I kind of should, actually. Maybe I should leave it like that. I was not going to have it go all the way to the top, but I'm thinking I might go all the way to the top for this. The only problem is that throws the train station kind of out of whack as far as that goes. Yeah. Plus, I still need to get the miners on this so we can start actually collecting the stuff. I should probably get that done too. Yeah. Let me finish getting this kind of all platformed out, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do next from there. Alrighty, getting there, making our way. I like that there's at least one train using this bridge here. That is funny. Yeah, that's the copper train delivering copper ore to the copper sheet factory up down the road there. Okay. This crazy rail network. I haven't got the ore coming in yet, but we'll get there. So this is what I'm thinking. We've got our windows here with this, and then we've got these windows here as well. I was going to inset them, but these walls here are also just as thin, so I was like, that ain't gonna work. It looks okay. You can see it comes right on down to here. We've got some 1-meter walls in here. I am going to kind of border these as well to make them work. Actually, you know what we could have done? We could have carried these windows all the way through. I think. Not really. Well, we could carry them through here, and that's fine. But you can't really carry them. It's just because the windows don't match the top portion. I mean, the windows can always go higher. You know what? Because I'm going to border these anyway, I'd imagine the inset is going to help. Or it's still going to be there. Yeah, that's kind of... Actually, I should have left one. That's fine. Yeah, if we set them up this high instead, then we can carry this window, and that would actually look pretty darn nice. Continue that there. Continue that there. Do this, put this here. If we carry this window all the way up, of course, if we're going to do that, we could just get rid of these entirely. It's like, yeah, let's do it like this instead. Let's use the actual like roof windows so it matches. Foundation. No, that's going to be architecture. Flat roof. Here we go. And I know these windows are actually slightly sloped still, but that's okay. I just wanted to carry it along that edge. We're still going to put edges around these to kind of make them inset, but I think the continuing windows will look pretty nice up the build. It's kind of what I wanted to do, though, because I was like, I don't want to expand out just out flat. I kind of wanted to have this like support structure underneath here. I think that could look really, really nice, but then we can carry this around here. And again, the only reason these foundations are here is because if we remove them, there's land behind that, and I can't really make them much smaller. I mean, I can make them a little bit smaller, but it's not going to really matter all that much. So, yeah, we just kind of have to force that. I actually might get rid of this. Because this is just here, just kind of put a little bit of an edge to that corner, but I think that corner will be okay if we do it like that. And similarly, if we take this, and just put that to there. There we go. Then we can at least somewhat match it. Now I couldn't put a wall inside of this, but I decided to put the wall outside of here. And when you look at this side of it, this side of the factory doesn't look too bad with that like that as well. We could carry the wall up here as well. That'd be kind of cool. But I was thinking something else. I'm probably going to put a wall on the outside of these so those stop glitching. Yeah, the reason they're glitching is because they've got this. I guess what we could do is remove this, because it's just the top line that needs to be removed, and then we don't have to put a wall on it if we don't want to. We're not really forced to do that if we don't really want to. Just because I have a foundation there. So it's going to kind of glitch out with it. We'll leave that there for the moment. Leave that there, and then we can just do... Okay, why are you locking down? It's trying to lock down to the top of that. I want to... There we go. Yeah, we could just do this for the rest of it. That way, if we don't want to put a wall down in there, we don't have to. But I didn't want it to go straight down, really, with this whole big old massive hole here, so I was like, eh, that'll look good. Just kind of that one side kind of sloped like that. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to play with some beams in here and some signs and stuff to kind of get some lighting effects on the walls. Of course, it's not going to look as good. And also, most of this is we're going to be painting this with carbon steel as well. Just to kind of because the factory is going to be black and purple, and it's going to be black mainly with like purple highlights. And the highlights are going to be those pillars that we put in. The pillars are going to be the highlights of the factory, so that's what I was thinking. Could be pretty cool. And then we'll have like signs and stuff to make it kind of look good. And we'll use, like I said, we'll use some of those pillars and stuff to kind of take out some of the sharpness of the angles, but also give it like lips. And, not human lips, but give like some of the corners like little lips and stuff like that. So it's got kind of a little bit more of a rounded edge-ish. At least that's what I'm kind of thinking. But I think from here, we're going to start putting down factory buildings here very, very soon. So, but yeah, for this underside, what I was thinking what would be really cool is to leave this like this, and then kind of take this. Zoom it all the way across. This is a 10 by 8, by the way. Now this side's not going to be as good. It's going to be very, very weird. But we take this by that, and I like that. And then we go 2, 3, and I think these two are the centers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Take that across like that. That across like that. And then we go with this, like this, zoom it down. I want to zoom it down 5. 5 there as well. And 5 there. And 5 there. And we might even, let's see. It's going to be pushed out 3 from the wall. Because we can't go down much further with a lot of this. What we could do is we could put solid concrete anchors through this rock here. It doesn't look as good, but it'll work. Got solid concrete anchors there as well. So this basically just puts a support structure in place. Of course, with the rest of these, we go with this here. Okay, so then we've got kind of this support structure in here. What we could even do is do this as well if we wanted to kind of make it look a little more supported. And then maybe we could even do something like that. Of course, in this little spot, we'll have to... Might not even do anything, to be honest with you. I really don't know, because it's not... It's not exactly angled. Okay. But we could call that good, I suppose. Maybe. Or, oops. Gotta be really careful here. We could do that and then go immediately back up. Yeah, I suppose. I hate these bits of concrete. I might just get rid of them. They're kind of ruining the aesthetic a little bit. And yes, I know I could make my own as well out of beams. I just not really into that. It would definitely take way too much time. So I'm getting a little getting a little bit exhausted, a little too focused, you know. When you like super focus on something. There we go. And we can do that as well. I know we're running out of time here very shortly. Okay. That there, and there. Yeah, maybe that'll work. It's kind of a weird structure. Just because I can't get to the walls with all the ground in the way. That's okay though. I just get rid of these. Yeah, these did not help the aesthetic. They actually kind of made it worse. Yeah, that definitely feels better. And it might even feel, even better if we did this. Just kind of made this whole thing all steel beams with no gaps. Yeah, that definitely feels much better. Yeah, that feels so much better. Okay, I think we can call that good now. I know we're out of time for this episode pretty much. Yeah, looking like we're hitting the end of our episode here, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and leave it here for now. I am going to go ahead and hook up the quartz real quick, kind of in between episodes, because that's a pretty easy system to do. I just got to build some concrete bridges to kind of get all three of the quartz nodes connected up to this train station here, and then we'll run a little bit of a platform that goes down from there, like a little bit of a walkway with our belts. Belts being above the walkway, and then we'll connect it up to the factory here, and then it'll go, it'll probably go along the factory, hit this wall, and then just go up, and maybe on top of this area, maybe we can sneak it in like right here or something. We could build a little custom wall. I'm not really sure. I'll figure something out. But then next time, that'll allow us next time to actually start getting some buildings built, and seeing how tall this structure is actually going to be. See how big it's actually going to be, because it might go up from here. Like at this point, it might just go up with some walls and stuff. We'll see what happens. But that'll be that for now. So yeah, like I said, next time we'll get to start on factories, but that is going to be it for this episode. So I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I would like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see here. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.